You little rotten keg tapper, no name having, looking ragged, lame rapper. You nut hugger, butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that. My real friends call me Asher. Laughter. What kind of name is that, bro, dude?
It's finally here. The moment you've all been waiting for. The season 6 premiere of 13 Minutes. We're kicking this season off with Akron Rockers' Tales for the Deaf. What's up, guys?
What's happening, Paul?
How long have you guys been making music together?
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 This is the story. So, Jesse and I...
Like the Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah. The Brady Bunch. Jesse and I, we've been playing together for maybe 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years before the band actually started.
Yeah.
Tim and I were in a folk band up in Cleveland for about a year, and then we've been in projects together. So him and I, we've been playing since we were 16.
Does that mean you guys are hipsters?
No.
No? Okay, I just had to clarify. What'd you say that folk stuff? I don't know.
No, don't let the leather jacket fool you. This was... No, Tim and I, we've known each other for years. We've been making music. We had a project that fell off. We got kicked out of the band. And then I met Jesse. I was getting my hair cut by his fiance at the time, and I was just telling him about, I play up in Cleveland.
Yeah, she just bugged me a lot too. She's like, you gotta text this guy Cody. He says he's serious. And so we just, I just hit him up, and then we got together and just started jamming.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. That was the first incarnate of the band before we were Tales for the Deaf.
Yeah.
We had a different lineup about a year ago. We were under the name called Mercera. No one could pronounce it, so we changed the name so people could find us.
Yeah.
I've come across a few bands like that so far in my journeys.
My Sarah.
Yeah, Mercy and the Sarah Bunch, all sorts of stuff.
I think that I would say stop trying to promote your music to illiterate people. That might help, but I don't know.
Man, everybody's inclusive in my audience.
There you go, even the dum-dums.
Mm-hmm, like me.
Describe your sound to somebody who's never heard it before.
Man, I'd say it's just try to be as chameleon as possible as a band. We play anything we just want to feel like playing. That's how it is. And then, Cody comes up with a lot of good riffs, and usually we tail off of that. And sometimes it's just shit that we end up just jamming to. So.
Compare yourselves to like a big known national act. What kind of, if you had to compare yourselves to give people an idea, who would you compare yourselves to?
From a writing process, Nirvana. From a musical standpoint, probably Black Sabbath. From a theoretical standpoint, Led Zeppelin. Coming in from all of us, we all have different influences.
Yeah.
Tim comes from a classical and a theatrical background. I studied jazz in college.
I could definitely see that. I actually have to admit I didn't know that Tim was the vocalist at first because I just heard the music and not seen. And then I saw these videos on YouTube and I was like, oh my god, that's Tim. He can fucking belt. I can see where that classical influence comes from.
Yeah, thank you. He has a good stage presence.
Oh,
sure.
All of you guys do. Except for, I'm kind of wondering if I'm the only one that thinks that Jesse looks like he's sleeping while he's playing the drums.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
I can, because I just usually just close my eyes and play better.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it. You're going off into your imagination.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man, everybody's got their own style. When Tyler came on, we didn't really know what to expect. I had heard some of his past bands, but he comes up and he's like Les Claypool, man. He comes... It's very true, but he's a whaler, So you got, and Jesse's a rock guy. Everybody's got a different thing, and it kind of comes together. And when Tyler came on the band, it totally changed the sound of quite a bit of songs.
I think that's really important, sincerely. As I don't really play bass as much now, but I used to play bass a lot. And as a bass player, I always thought it was really important to actually have real bass lines instead of, just the same two notes over and over to carry the background of the song. Right. As a bass player, you have to make sure that you are shredding and not just,
Yeah.
But everybody in the band has to. And I like that you say that there's a little bit of Nirvana, a little bit of Zeppelin, because it definitely seems like you guys have this clash of eras. You guys bring this new school and old school together. And it's perfect. It's such a perfect blend of both. It's unreal. I definitely recommend that the listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call them out there, check out Tales for the Deaf. It's a very original sound.
Well, thank you.
Thank you much.
Oh, of course. Who's the most responsible person in the band?
Most responsible?
Yeah.
Probably you, Jesse.
I'm probably gonna say Jesse.
Yeah.
That's it, 100%
You got a wife and a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I should have known by the way he's dressed. Jesse, you just look like my dad.
Oh, well, there you go. Jesse,
He's everybody's dad.
Everybody's daddy.
Who's the least responsible person in the band?
that's a three-way tie.
I mean, financially, probably me.
That's a three-way tie.
That's alright, I don't pass any judgment, I have to ask though. How many patches does Tim have on that vest?
God, dude, that's a great question. I sewed all of them on myself with dental floss, and I could not tell you.
I know you're from Akron, but come on, let's get it.
Well, it's I actually I read it on a forum about how dental floss actually holds out better than string.
Oh, no way, okay.
Yeah, so
you learn something new every day.
I was going to the Slayer farewell tour, the first one, and
We all know how it is with farewell tours.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, I had to have this vest. I'll count them mentally in my head and just randomly put it out there when I think of how many patches I have on there.
Yeah, you let me know. I seen a lot in that video, and I was actually curious, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you guys have out any albums or EPs released yet?
We're working on it.
Yeah, EPs, no. You can find all of our stuff on Spotify, SoundCloud. It's on iTunes, but that's...
Even our Facebook page has.
Yeah.
Like a collection of singles?
Yeah.
Is that what you would... Okay.
I would
Yeah,
say
yeah,
so.
in a way. Yeah, just
Um,
material we're working on.
Yeah, and the actual EP, we're recording that on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
This Friday.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out soon. We're hoping to have that out by May, but that's going to be an 8-song EP, and that'll have everything that we've worked on with the band so far, and then hopefully soon after that, we've got a bunch of other songs we're going to put on a second. So, we keep busy with it, but you can definitely find it on Spotify. It's just Tales of the Deaf. You really can't miss it. It's a picture of
Did
the
you just
star.
mispronounce your band name in the interview?
Did. Tales for the Deaf. Edit that out.
What is the EP going to be called?
That is the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give you guys $1 million for the answer, I'm not going to lie. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
We don't really
That's good
know
because we
yet.
don't have one.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Hey, untitled is always good. Or self-titled. You know what I mean? Are you guys collectively, I don't know, do you guys like all rock out with the same phones? Android or iPhone?
Android.
Yeah, that's what I got.
iPhone.
iPhone.
Okay. 50-50
The
split.
difference.
You can really tell, what type of person you're sitting in front of when you find out what type of phone they have.
What does it make us?
Simpletons.
I would say they're the simpletons, actually. iPhone seems super complicated to me, but maybe I'm a simpleton and I don't know. Maybe I just am not aware of it. Who came up with the name Tales for the Deaf? What, where did it come from? How'd you guys come across that name? I know that you said it was, no one could pronounce the other name, but where did this name come from?
That was like a committee decision between myself and Cody and Jesse and that would have been Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we basically had a whiteboard with a bunch of different ideas that we liked. And we had initially decided on Mount Silver, and then we somehow just arrived at Tales for the Deaf. I can't remember who came up with it
Cody did,
precisely.
Yeah.
Cody
But-
did, and I was wondering, it was after that.
Yeah.
After that situation, I tried to find out what we did, and then he said that, and it all kind of just, I don't know, it kind of just stuck in our heads, honestly. I thought it was nice because it can appeal to people who can actually also pronounce the name, but people that, it's a collective thing, and, we always vote on everything. We try to make it as free, but as constructive as possible.
So Tales for the Deaf is a pure democracy.
In a way.
In a way,
It came
yeah.
from the creative mind of what the music kind of sounds like. Like, when I think of bands like that...
Like, you mean that you would have to be deaf to listen to it?
Oh, absolutely.
It really is a silly
could.
name.
It is. It's
I'm
in a-
pretty
in
sure
a
they
lot
would
of
fucking
different
feel
kinds of ways.
Tyler's bass shredding in their fucking chest to figure out the notes.
Yeah. But it's just a nonsense name. Like, I think of all my heroes, and just the name really kind of means nothing. It's just something that you can identify it with. It's easy to say. And when people come up to me at the grocery store, they're just like, I like the name Tales for the Deaf. I'm like, okay, you can pronounce it. So
That
that's-
happened.
Yeah.
You already know you're doing something right if people are coming up to you at the grocery store.
All
I like it.
Yeah.
It's happened a couple times. I'm like, you know what? That's a cool feeling.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's really cool. Do any of you guys have the coronavirus?
Not that I know of.
No, yeah.
I probably should have asked that before I drove an hour and a half out
You're
here,
dead.
but
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah.
just don't fucking breathe on me.
Oh yeah. Kiss you on the lips.
It's a little hard to get tested.
Oh, you can kiss me on the lips. I'm not going to object to that.
All right.
Who's the better Will Ferrell character? Ricky Bobby or Ron Burgundy?
I
I'm gonna
haven't
go with
seen.
Ron.
Ron.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen the race car one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Anchorman, but I didn't like Talladega Nights, so I gotta go with Ron Burgundy.
All right, Ron's the winner. Who are some of your guys' favorite local bands, from this broader area?
Moon
Cleveland, Kent, Moon Burial.
Yeah, they're from Youngstown.
Well, Moon Burial's actually playing in my spring show. I like those guys.
Yeah.
I did an interview with them in the second or third season of 13 Minutes.
Okay.
I fuck with Moon Burial.
Yeah.
That's a good shout out.
Yeah.
Any band that Lance is in, any band that Dean is in.
Yeah, man,
I-
Black the Sun, Cult of Crowley.
they're
Dean's
all-
got the Midas touch. So
Yeah.
He does, man. Great musician.
Black the Sun goes hard. I've never got to work with them, but I've heard their music.
they did.
Black the Sun, come on the fucking set.
Yeah, I've partied with them a couple of
Jesse has a coronavirus. He just gave
Yeah,
himself
I just
away.
say, it is what it is.
If one of you had to be sacrificed to the devil, who would it be?
Me.
Who would survive it?
You would you just
I
give
bet
yourself
Tim
up
would
to
I
him.
would. I would. I absolutely would. How
Yeah,
bad could
it's
it be?
crazy
It's only
enough
hell.
that they have.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
missed an opportunity to just throw out all my other band's names just now. It's
Go for it.
Right,
Yeah, fucking say it.
No, yeah, no,
I'm not
listen.
gonna do it. I'm
The
not gonna do it.
opportunity is never passed. Go ahead.
I'm not going to do
I'm
it.
not
It was a joke.
continuing.
I'm
I'm not
actually,
continuing.
I'm not going to do it. But I think one of them is scheduled to do an interview with you a little later. I could be wrong. We're doing an interview with someone. I think it might be you.
What band is it?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right. Okay. All right, man. Well, this is the man of mystery over here. I
might
like
show up
it.
again though in another episode. We'll see.
I'll be looking forward to seeing you again, Tyler. What's the dopest music venue in Akron?
Ooh.
Or, like I said, this area, Akron, Kent.
It's so subjective. Everyone go in a row.
I don't really know. Local? Like really local?
Like Akron.
Whatever just in the area.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I love playing at the Bank Lounge. I love Rick. Rick's an outstanding sound guy. And
That's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
That's, really probably more important than anything
That
else.
place treats us really well.
They do.
They do. And you know,
They better.
consistent.
You better treat them well.
the Bank Lounge was sort of our first, gig we had where we got to play a full set.
Yeah.
And we've always gotten a good response from the folks who go there. So they've sort of been there from the ground up, and at least for me, loyalty like that's really important.
Yeah.
So,
To me as well. I actually really identify with that.
So I appreciate that, and I'm always happy to play there. Obviously, we've had some experiences there. But,
Yeah, but it can happen anywhere.
But yeah, it absolutely can.
Do you want to indulge me?
Yeah.
Explain
absolutely.
these.
Without like getting too into the weeds about it, there was a young woman there who had imbibed quite a bit of alcohol, and was verily inebriated. And she took it upon herself to come up onto the stage mid-set and try to take the microphone from me and
Touch your piano.
touch my piano,
She was demanding that we
which
play
mind
some.
you, the piano was on a payment plan and I have not paid it off yet. So I am quite protective of it. One thing led to another, and her family, who was also there, ended up getting involved, and basically,
Yeah, it was a mess.
it was a mess. This was Halloween, so I was dressed in a Fallout 111 jumpsuit, and basically proceeded to scream through the remainder of the set. The set went great, so can't complain about that. But
I use it to fuel fucking. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
There you go.
We're all getting
Tackling fuel.
It was a great example. You know, I mean, one of the thoughts that I had in my head when that happened was that, like, you know, like, I'm not about to sit here and let this guy become the show. You know what I mean? Like, we are the show. We're the
Fuck
act.
yeah.
We're on stage, and we're getting paid to be here, and you're paying to be here. So, you know, we're gonna put this show on. What's it?
No, I was.
No.
Yeah, I mean, at the risk of getting, you know, I don't want to come across as like a Roger Waters type. Obviously, we love the people who love our music, but, you know,
Except for that lady.
except, well, I mean, I don't even remember what she had requested, but it was something that was not like
Freebird, I'm sure.
No. It was like I don't. It was some kind of popular music.
Well, we're not a cover band, so
Right, we're not a cover band, and
we're just playing our.
You know how I know you're not a cover band? Because I don't put cover bands on this show. Well, on that note, how do you guys think that you would fare in a full-on band versus band brawl or Royal Rumble?
Which band?
Whatever band comes to your mind first, whatever band's ass you think you could kick.
Oh,
oh Jesus, man.
I don't want to kick anyone's
Jesus.
ass. Yeah.
like a two-piece band. Like,
We could
We're gonna
definitely-
take on the white stripes.
We could definitely wail on the Black Keys, like Patrick Carney. I love him, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's a good answer. At
he's a
least
small dude.
it's a safe answer.
He's a tall dude, but he's a thin dude.
He's a thing, yeah.
There you go. I honestly, I'd help you guys beat the fuck out of the Black Keys. Let's make it even more 100% sure that you're going to win. Bring me in. I'll help you guys.
5-on-2 is a good set of numbers. Man.
Oh, yeah. If we lose a
Those are
5
good
on 2,
odds.
then we got
Oh yeah, dude.
we're doing bad. Do you guys eat your vegetables?
Every day.
Yeah, sure. We have to.
Yeah, sure.
None of you sounded very convincing. What's the best swear word?
What's the most potent swear word?
What's the classiest swear word?
Yeah.
However you guys want to answer it.
Something we use a lot. Like, if you listen to a conversation with us, I like to say cunt all the time.
Yeah, concept of fuck.
It digs. That's a digging word right
yeah,
there.
really, yeah.
Male or female, if you call someone a cunt, you know you have to fucking mean it.
well, it's funny though,
Yeah.
like, in the UK though, they throw it around like, you know.
Oh, you're
it's-
right, yeah,
it's,
they
it's,
do.
it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a PG. It's like calling somebody a jerk. They just-
I kind of always
8-year-olds
wanted
say
to
cunt
be
in the UK.
like English or British, just so I could use the word cunt like that. It seems so fun.
Oh,
They really do just throw out all kinds of swear words
no, they
very
say twat a
casually.
lot too.
Yeah.
Minge,
Wow.
minge. I love minge.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk like those people. Plus, they say like if you have an accent, you get all the ladies, and I get none of the ladies, so maybe it would help a little
It
bit.
works when the extensive vocabularies. They don't.
Yeah, right.
Would you guys sell out for all the fame and all the riches?
We can't. They wouldn't take us.
Who would buy Tales for the Deaf?
Nike.
Right? There you go. Sell out to
Yeah,
Nike.
Hey, come on, Nike.
That's it. I'll take shoes. I love shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of like who would we like to endorse each of us?
Oh, then I don't want Nike.
God, you know, I'd love to have like Moog or Dave Smith Instruments endorse me.
This is his sponsor me tape.
Please.
He will do whatever you ask,
Yeah, man.
right?
I can't afford these instruments. I'll happily take a sponsorship.
Yeah, for sure. Ernie Ball, the strings, picks, just the little stuff, man. Like instruments, cool. But I'll tell you what, it's the stuff that you use. Cables would be great. The things that blow out all the time.
Them fucking speaker cables.
Yeah.
God damn it, they're expensive. And someone always steals them every time.
Or spills beer on it. That one always happens.
Or do like,
Don't spill beer on people's shit. Keep your beer in your fucking mouth or on the front of your shirt.
yeah,
I'll take it from your shirt.
Do you guys have any shows coming up?
Yeah.
yeah.
We have one on the 20th at East End venue. That's in
It's a
Akron.
good spot. Good
I like
place.
it there.
It is
There's nice
good
people
there.
there too, man. You know that's a big part of our experience too. Is just having like respectful people like let us play, and and it works out fine. That's a big deal,
Of course, it really is. It's one thing if you get the opportunity, but then when everything goes over so well and aligns perfectly, I mean, it really does make a huge
It
difference.
does. Easier to
It
book.
absolutely does. The interpersonal relationships that we create with the venues that we go to, that's why we keep getting calls back, because no
We
one
show
wants,
up on time with all of our shit and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
and we want to be there. And that's the thing, like, we're a band of people that just want to play. You'd be surprised how many people just show up because it's something cool to do, and then they take all of our tip money. I'm not pointing out any names, but...
Yeah.
Hey, feel free. This is a show where you can point out whatever names you
No.
I'm
want.
not bashing anyone by individual names, but you know who you are, and that was really shitty.
Yes.
Don't take
Story.
people's fucking tip
Oh,
money.
Alright,
You tell me
Sarah
later.
is- I'll tell you later.
I haven't heard this story either.
You were there!
You were there, bro.
Yeah!
Jesse had his eyes closed. He was fucking sleepy. Come on.
I didn't even know we.
Yeah.
I don't even care if we get paid. We just go out. I just go out and play.
Right.
That's how I feel sincerely. I'm not doing this shit for
It's
money.
just, it's kind of sucks when your dad comes and tips you guys $10 and the other band steals your dad's $10.
Yeah, and
Hey,
it's sentimental money. It's like, man, who brought my dad, man?
Yeah, dude, he's old, man. Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, right.
And I'd also like to mention that, you know, the band was supposed to headline, and they ended up not headlining and playing like a 20-minute set, and then we ended up headlining and playing like an hour set, and then while we were playing...
Oh, I know.
While we were playing, they just kind of like
Okay.
took their stuff out the door and made
This
off
is
with the
before
money,
you-
and
okay.
that was that. So,
Whoever you are fucking shady. You don't ever come across me.
Bunch of kids is what it is.
God damn. What's the hardest thing about being a musician? Is it getting your tip money stolen?
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. There's so many parts.
yeah, I mean, it's certainly about like the attitude. I mean, it's certainly, you know, the way that people treat you. And I mean, I don't really, to a certain extent, I don't care what people think about me, but like at the end of the day, you sort of have to. So like when you meet someone for the first time, you know, and you tell them, yeah, I have a day job, but I'm also a musician. You know, I mean, you sort of get met with that.
Skepticism.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, like, I'm far be it from me to say I'm not used to that. Like, I was a theater major, and I mean, obviously that's
That's why I
not,
just
that's,
don't bring it up.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's not, obviously being a theater major hasn't worked out exceptionally well for me financially, but, you know, I mean, I think I have the privilege of...
Don't go to college, kids. That's what he's trying to tell
that's what
he's trying to tell you. Follow your dreams on your own.
Oh, yeah, dude, if I could go back to when I was 18 years old, I would have gone to a trade school. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think that, you know, it's when I'm 50 years old and I'm looking back on what I've done with my life, I don't think that I'm going to necessarily hit the panic button as hard as I would have if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I understand.
you know, I think it's important to chase the things you're passionate about, even if
Absolutely.
they don't play out.
Absolutely. We're nearing the end of our time. I have saved the most important question for last.
oh boy.
Brace yourselves. What is the best cereal?
Oh, man.
You're
There's a
fuck-
reason this
you're
debate has
fuck,
like
that's
been
hard.
going on for as long as it has. Like,
Depends on my mood.
The Oreo cereal that you can never find, but it sometimes appears in Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're walking around a little bit drunk, but not enough to get in trouble. So you go in there, your girlfriend's like, I want to buy something. And you're like, I'm not going to let you buy it because it's my money. And then you but then you find it. You find the Oreo cereal, and you're sitting there and you're just like, fuck her, I'm getting it. So you swipe it, you go home. It's not as good as you remember when you were 8 years old, but the nostalgia is worth the $5 for the box of cereal.
There you fucking go.
I
That's
will
a good
say,
answer.
I do have a memory tied to that cereal. I had to go to my father's place of work with him once, and like, it was boring, you know, if you ever had to go to your dad's place of work with him for the day. Like, you know, he worked in an office, so the point is, like, in the break room was a box of that cereal, and I had a good portion of it that day, because, you know,
It's the cereal that brings back childhood memories.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You know, like when I remember when we were kids, like that was the bomb.
Oh, undoubtedly.
But-
That's still one of my
I'm
favorites.
always Fruity Pebbles guy, man. Fruity Pebbles.
I'm also gonna put this out there. Have you ever had like a bowl of Cheerios and that milk is like ice cold? and it just cuts into those oats. And there's just
Honey Nut Cheerios or the regular Old Man Cheerios?
Hallmark plug.
just
You have to be
honestly,
specific. Is it the
Either.
Honey Nut? Okay.
Either. If that,
I
if
have a
the,
box of
if,
Honey Nut Cheerios at my house right now.
if
I do
the-
too. Yes, sir.
If the milk is the perfect temperature, right? It's not
Oh,
too
I agree.
cold. It's not too warm. There's just something magical about it. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure that someone out there knows what I'm
I
talking
know what you're
about.
talking
No, I do know what you. I don't know if I could do with the Old Man Cheerios, but with Honey Nut Cheerios, I mean, yeah, you could be in any state of mind. You could be hungry or not hungry. You're 100% correct. You get that perfect pour on that bowl of Cheerios. You know, it's like when you have to tilt your glass to pour the beer in.
What's
Speaking
Gordon
of that,
Ramsay's favorite cereal? That's a good
I
question.
don't give a fuck about Gordon Ramsay's opinion. It's Oreos.
Gordon Ramsay don't know shit.
You don't know shit
I
about
would-
And
cereal.
you heard it here on
Oh,
13
God.
minutes.
Yeah, you heard us, Gordon. You don't
The
know shit.
worst part is the Reese's Puffs are fucking raw.
On that note, I'm Paul Goon. They are Tales for the Deaf. And you just got fucked on by the season premiere of 13 Minutes.
Cunt.
You got to call.